I just want to give a quick intro to this video to explain how I ranked these levels. I tried to rank them by not at all how much I enjoyed the level completion initially, but how fun I think the gameplay is overall, how high quality the decoration is if it's one of my own levels, like how hard did I try on the decoration. And yeah, and then there's just a lot of favoritism too. Yeah, especially the top 10 favoritism up the ass. One more quick thing to mention, there's a lot of levels on the lowest spots that I really love. It's just that they're low quality. And at the very bottom, to start off the list, you all knew it was here, the scrapyard. And I think the reasons are pretty obvious. Not only is the wave part not well designed and really long, but then the parts that aren't wave are literally nothing. Like, there's just no gameplay in the beginning and end. Pretty much. It might as well be none. But yeah, just having to wait through that every single attempt and then just hope you do well in the wave. It's a real struggle. It's a bitch. The only thing I can really say, lore-wise, if you will, is that in 2022, I started getting runs on this level, and I was like, well, if I want to beat this, I'm gonna have to get more good at the game. Like, I'm already good enough to beat this, but I want to get better so I can beat it in 1 to 2 days. And then 2 years after that, I beat it in 2 streams about. And those streams are private because, yeah, this level pissed me off to no end. Oh well, I bet people will be happy that this is almost at the very bottom. And yeah, I couldn't justify it being very high up at all, even if I wanted it to be higher up, because I personally think it's really fun to play. But it's just a copy with no significant changes besides the nerfs, so yeah, of course I couldn't justify it. I don't really remember a lot of my experience beating this. It was on and off, mostly off. I got 97% like 6 months before actually beating it. I died to fix hitboxes at the very end. Oh yeah, that bullshit is also a reason to put this real low. Also kind of funny that the 2 9 circles levels on this list are the 2 bottom spots. Here's another level that's pretty hard to justify being good at all. Necro Nightmares. I made it for the 1.6 GDPS, but I already talked about all that in the lore video, so I think it's alright for only using 1.6 objects. And I also wanted to make it look like, or feel like it actually was released in 1.6, and that, I'd say I did a decent job at. However, that decoration only lasts for so much of the level. After 60%, pretty much the decoration and the gameplay just gives up entirely, and it just becomes some dragged out section to finish the song. And so yeah, real lazy level, impossible to justify being good. Wander of Soggy. Now, honestly, the only reason I am putting this above Necro Nightmares is because I'm kind of proud of the gameplay that I came up with. And I also really liked Betadict's idea for not doing decoration, but instead making the structuring more and more complicated as the parts go on. So the beginning looks really hollow and empty, whereas the later parts have really tight structuring. I thought that was really nice, and I thought I pulled that off pretty well. So yeah, it's just a few reasons why I kind of hold close to this level, but I mean, just look at it. I can't justify putting this high. And the gameplay, I mean, it's jank. It's kind of inconsistent, I won't lie. Next up, we got Monochrome Chillin', the first of two extreme demons that Gabriel made for me to verify. First of all, I want to say this one is lower than Sinister Sandy because I found it to be a lot less consistent to play, although that probably just goes out of it being harder, at least partially. It's not too much harder, but it's definitely a noticeable step up. Of course, these levels don't really have actual quality because they're made by a player who doesn't have any experience with the game, but I think like the ideas that Gabe came up with for gameplay were pretty interesting. Most obvious example being that orb gimmick where all the black orbs are surrounding the correct jump orbs. Oh, and the reason I'm showing my verification video instead of a bot showcase is because I really wanted to show the original version and not a 2.2 fix. And as I've already implied, the next level is Sinister Sandy. This level is pretty much a precursor to Monochrome Chillin'. It's very similar in design, so there's not much I can say about this that I didn't say about Monochrome Chillin'. Well, that is other than the theming of the level. It is very simplistic, but I really like the structure work and how they're kind of shaped like temples. Next up is Cataclysm. I'm gonna be honest, I did not really enjoy beating this level. I waited many years until I was good enough to beat it in like 2 afternoons. One of those levels. All I can really say that this level has going for it is that I appreciate the time that it was made and that it kind of revolutionized not only difficulty, but decoration too, just out of how popular it was. The biggest thing that I don't like about playing this level is that it's one of those obnoxious ass levels where you're stuck at the beginning and being way harder than everything else, especially when Riot buffed that damn wave. Grrr, Riot! Next level is the Ultimate Phase, a level I feel like I definitely would have ranked at the very bottom if this were a couple years ago. When I was playing this level, I used to stream on Twitch, and I used to stream for longer, and I was streaming this level for 4 hours every other day or some shit. And after the 4th day stream, I remember that specific day, I literally looked myself in the mirror and said, is it really worth it? This is clearly painful to me trying to beat this level. It was easily my hardest by a long shot at the time. But in recent years, I've actually really grown to like this level. I think the gameplay is pretty fun once you get it down. It's not much I can say about this level. And then next up is red, green, blue. On my initial list that I just made on a sticky note, I actually put this at number 24, because I was like, it's impossible to justify the gameplay. But then I realized I actually really like the decoration that I did on this level, especially after I upgraded it earlier this year. And not only that, but I also had a surprisingly good time verifying this, even if I didn't touch it for 2 years. And yeah, I definitely understand that the gameplay makes it hard to justify this level being good. I just love looking at this level's decoration, like I actually am quite proud of it. For hardest ever no cap, I don't feel like I have much to say about the quality overall, other than I know the gameplay I made was really boring, it was super rushed out. But I have said a million times, and I will say it again, that I love Betadic's decoration on this level. It looks like Descent into Exile with the metallic grayscaled theme, and that's pretty much what I had in my imagination for this level, so I really appreciate that. To be a little bit more specific about the gameplay, it's just that the first half feels like such a drag to go through. You gotta get consistent with it just so you can play the second half enough to beat it. The second half parts are a lot more fun, but also a lot harder. So for me, it felt like it was impossible to have any nerve control, and so I died to this corridor so many times. Honestly, I feel like I have the least amount of stuff to say for Red World Rebirth. I found this level to be surprisingly fun to play, even if I got really frustrated at it, especially towards the end. When I was streaming it, I died at the end a lot of times, but it's just because the end is the hardest part. I really love deep red colors, and just this level just has some of my favorite flavors of red, and so that was something that was really appealing to me in this level. And yeah, there's just not much to say about this. It was fun and red. Also, the name Red World Rebirth rolls off the tongue so well. Red World Rebirth. A lot of people watching already know all this stuff about Silent Killer. It's a collab level where I felt like this is one of the first times I ever legitimately tried my best at decorating. And while there's absolutely no polish to this level whatsoever, well, in my parts that is, in V3A's parts later in the level, there's actually a decent amount of polish. But despite the lack of polish, I do understand why a lot of my friends have said that this level actually looks pretty beautiful. So I strongly appreciate how much people like this level, and yeah, I've grown to like it a lot more than when I was verifying it. And I feel like that's largely just because of growing up. I was a lot angrier back when I verified this, just in general. As for the gameplay itself, I really like the gameplay, especially the replaced parts that Killer Spider and V3A had made, but even my parts I think are not bad. For the verification process, I felt like it took way longer than it should have. However, it used to be way harder, and I just kept nerfing it more and more and more over the course of like 3 months. But of course, nerfing it was the best thing I could have possibly done to this, because now other people want to play this level, which is always what I want when I make levels like this. I'm like, I want somebody else to want to play this. Besides that, I built all this level myself, and that I'm more proud of the quality I made for this level, I really have no reason to believe that this is a better level than Silent Killer. And if you already know both this level and Silent Killer, you know they're supposed to be correlated. I called this the sequel. Yeah, I don't think it really builds off of Silent Killer like a sequel. Yeah, I guess more like a, oh, I tried to upgrade this same style. But for the gameplay, yeah, I do like it a little bit more than Silent Killer. One thing that helps is that it's not the millionth level I've done that use club step. But besides that, I just think I did a decent job of matching this level's design with the intensity of the song. Considering how difficult this level is, I really enjoyed verifying this just from the fact that I beat it at all. While this is literally just a nerfed copy, I felt like it was appropriate to put it really high up, because that's just how much fun I had verifying it. This level basically got me out of bed at one point back in 2021, and I think I did a decent job on balancing it. And yeah, you've all seen Tartarus. If you want to know what it's like, just play it yourself. Primitive, the hardest level by Betadic that I have verified. Sorry, Frostbite. Both the gameplay and decoration of this level are supposed to give off a 1.9 feel sort of design. I think it pulls off pretty well. The gameplay is mostly pretty fun, although there's a few inconsistencies here and there. You know, at least from my perspective, this level was a pretty quick process. I don't know, it doesn't really stick with me too hard, although I've always appreciated this level. Oh, and who could forget that dual part that everyone loves? Well, I certainly don't need to go over the lore of this level again, but this level, wow, it is kind of confuzzled me how much trouble people have with this level, because it is definitely very hard, but I didn't expect it to be nearly as hard when I first verified it as it ended up being. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure on what to say about this gameplay. It feels like there are standout sections that are kind of choke points in themselves, like this ball part, for example, is a standout, and then the ship part next is a standout. Like, there are a lot of those sections in this level, which really frustrate people. And that's something I can sort of appreciate, because that's Soggy Machine's job, isn't it, is to piss you off. And as for the decoration, for 3 years ago, me and Betadict decorating this, it was pretty much on top at the time. Also, the decoration style and the colors, I love how they vaguely remind me of Hard Machine, but at the same time, this level's sort of its own entity. Frostbite, my most recent verification, a long time coming too. Betadict started making this level 3 years ago and then finished it earlier this year. And as you might already know, I was genuinely ecstatic to verify this. I had always loved it from the start. Now, spoiler alert, I ended up dying to the end like 25 times and ended up not having the most fun experience trying to beat it. But I am just so glad I finally did it. And I'm glad I didn't wait on it. I made sure to get it done quick. Okay, on to the gameplay. I'll say straight up, a lot of the transitions suck when you first try them. Like that one. Like, you see that? A lot of the transitions are straight up blind, but you get used to it. And when you do get used to it, the level was so consistent. Like, I was getting a 50% pretty much every attempt. And even after beating it, I could just play it because I want to, and then get to 50% like it's nothing. Then the second half is harder than the first half. Pretty ironic considering what I said when it was first finished. Out of all the levels that our group chat has made, I honestly think Sugi has stood the test of time the best in terms of gameplay. Well, of course. The introduction really matches the build-up of the song, and the gameplay serves as a really good build-up for the drop. Then the drop gameplay keeps that intensity up for the whole experience, and is honestly really fun to play the way it flows so well together. Now, because this level is extra long, this level naturally got really frustrating to me. I'm not typically a fan of playing extra long levels. It feels like there's just a lot to learn, but with this level I felt like I could do it because, you know, there's no decoration, there's no like memory gameplay. I was like, you know, we'll just blast through it, and it took a while. It took over a week, over 2 weeks even. And yeah, I'll be honest, I definitely was not expecting it to be that kind of a struggle. But regardless, I was just really excited to verify this because nobody had really tried this level that hard for a couple years, and then I suddenly piqued interest in the level, and I was like, yeah, I'll beat it. And then I kept it a secret so I could surprise everyone with like, yeah, I verified Sugi, yeah, let's go. And yeah, that was surprisingly successful. I am really bad at keeping these levels secret whenever I do. Like, I tried to keep Red, Green, Blue secret. Oh, that was a big failure. Yeah, so this is where the list starts to become purely favoritism. I honestly just simply think Crimson Sognet is really fun, and I like the decoration style, and it's red, And I really wanted to make a Crimson Sognet level for a long time because of my phase with Crimson Planet. I was like, oh, I want to jump to Crimson Planet, and I realized, oh no, that's kind of delusional. And yeah, so when the Sog trend was starting to kickstart and there was more full levels for Soggy, I was like, I gotta make one for Crimson Planet and verify it. And so, yeah, so there's a couple of reasons why this level sticks with me really well. Oh, and I like the sort of experiments I did with the decoration. Yeah, made me a bit proud, even if half of it was just copying Betadict's decoration. Slow burn is easily in my top 3 favorite verifications that I've ever done, maybe even my single favorite. I remember that learning it was definitely a process, but a very rewarding process, and then once I got consistent with the parts, holy crap. The unique gameplay of kind of like buffering orbs and then timing other ones, it's super satisfying. And if you have beaten any extreme demons, I would highly recommend checking this out. Slow burn by Betadict, banger level. I'm glad that I am not in a minority of people when I say this. There is a reason everyone still loves Bloodbath to this day. It is genuinely just a fantastic level, especially for its time. I mean, you can tell that they really spent effort playtesting this level at a time where playtesting was barely standard whatsoever. I've definitely heard people say that it gets quite boring to play from zero, and I can honestly feel that. But I don't think it's too bad. The level does become quite consistent over time. It's not like you're gonna be stuck at one part. Well, usually. I have definitely been stuck at Michigan a couple times before. And of course, back then, in 2021, I was one of the cool, edgy kids. I was like, Michigan's part isn't that hard. Everyone's over-exaggerating. I'm like, oh my goodness. I really think subconsciously I just wanted to sound cool. Well, this was the first level that ever took me like an enormous amount of time where like it really felt like a sizable chunk of my life that I was spending on this level. By the time I was streaming this on my Twitch channel at the time, I was kind of waking up with this dread that like, oh goodness, I have to play Bloodbath again. But that's kind of just how I was like, that's me thing. So as if Crimson Sognet was not enough favoritism, yeah, here's ADC Neverclear, and honestly, there are basically 2 reasons why I put this up here. Main reason, it is, for some reason, the most replayable level for me in this game. I can play this as many times as I feel like, and I never feel totally sick of it, ever. And the other reason would be the time it was made. In early 2021, I basically had 0 levels that were fun to play whatsoever, especially ones that were really hard. But then, this was the first time I guess I kind of actually tried for more than 5 seconds with gameplay. Now, this gameplay was supposed to be inspired by Necropolis or Necropolix, as those were my hardest levels at the time. Although, it doesn't feel like Necropolis at all. It feels more like if Michigan's Bloodbath part was extended and buffed a little bit. So I guess I could say that this level has really stood the test of time for my own standards in level design. Minusog! Oh, how we yearned for a time when Hard Machine and Minus Dry were considered sister levels, and so we tried to create our own Soggy sisters with Soggy Machine and Minusog. Yes, Minusog, the quote-unquote sequel to Soggy Machine. Well, not quite. This level was starting to be built immediately after Soggy Machine was verified, but we didn't finish it until late 2024. Both me and Betadict did decoration. Now, of course, Betadict carried, like all the collabs on my account, but I feel like I tried and did better than Soggy Machine. I really love that everyone has seemed to overall enjoy this gameplay pretty unanimously between everyone who's tried it. Now, I did not mention Soggy Machine's verification, but I imagine most people watching this know how that went with the stream crashing. It's weird but also amazing to say that I actually fluked this level, and I gotta say, undeserved fluke. I was whining a lot. And I definitely can't ignore Killer Spider talking about how I could skip 96% that orb right there, the purple orb, yeah. Most people who have played Necropolis hate it for its balancing, so I fail to see why people hate this level too. This is just Necropolis, but better in every aspect. I know these kinds of rebirth levels are seen as unnecessary filler levels, which is understandable most of the time, but with this level, I feel like it's more so just fixing what was so bad about Necropolis, which I still love Necropolis, I just understand why people hate it. Back when I beat this level, I used to like rank how lucky I got with each level, and I loved this level so much that despite dying at the last 20% like 5 or 6 times, I still ranked it as like a 10 out of 10 luckiest experience ever. I think I was just happy to be playing the level. Yeah, I loved it that much that I was all like jolly over it. Now that was 4 years ago, that was January 2021, and ever since then, or I guess ever since Bloodbath, but even this level, this was the last hardest that didn't take me months of playing some levels on and off to see like, oh, what level do I beat? Oh, do I want to beat the, oh no, it's getting into all the specifics of the gameplay to see if I want to beat this. Like, the harder my hardest is, the harder it is to choose another hardest that I actually want to play. And this was the last level that didn't take me like actual effort to find this level and choose it. If you've known about me before this video, then you already knew this was at the top spot without even watching the video. So brief rundown on why this level stuck with me so much. I was like 13 or 14 years old, my hardest level was Club Step. I would always just filter Extreme Demons and then search, and just play Extreme Demons at random. And when I found A Bizarre Phantasm, I thought the chilly vibes of the decoration was so nice. And also it is what made me discover the song Betrayal of Fate, and for a while it was like my single favorite song ever. So then later down the line, when I actually was able to beat Extreme Demons in 2021, I wanted to play this level, and I had got decent progress, but then the key code, every time I would practice, it would just be that key code. I'm like, I can never learn it, I'm just never gonna beat this. So I didn't ever try that hard until 2024, when I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna buckle down, learn this key code, and I did it so much faster than I expected, and then, yeah, the rest is history. So I just thought it was super satisfying to be able to beat this level, and I think the gameplay in general, even besides the key code, is super satisfying. What helps the satisfaction of playing this level is that it does feel surprisingly well synced up. On top of the decoration also going so well with this song, yeah, I couldn't not put this at the top spot. Now it is a Team N2 level, so it's not widely known for being the highest quality level, but overall I just thought this was super fun to play.